when the Prime Minister said in Hausa, but I say it in English, which I know, Igbo, you are no longer part of Nigeria. The federal government continued immediately to treat the Igbos as non-Nigerians. Is that correct? Yes or no?
Well, you didn't tell me when he said it. You told me to read it in the book.
Does it matter?
I read it. It does matter.
He said
because
it.
You are now asking me, my Lord, when and immediately after there was a consequence. You didn't let me read when the event took place.
He said it on the 14th of January, 1966.
The night he was killed.
Yes.
Under the oppression of an overpowering power of an Igbo officer.
Have you answered my question?
I have not heard your question, sir.
After that statement made by the overpowering power of Anuforo, which is in that book,
yes,
Nigeria, which you don't represent, continued to take Igbos as not belonging to Nigeria.
No, Igbos continued to rule Nigeria.
Next question.
Ironsi took over immediately, was ruling Nigeria. Ironsi was ruling northern region immediately thereafter.
You know, did you see Ifa Juna there?
Even if I saw him, I will remember.
Did you see him there?
My Lord, I did not record the faces of the guest of the host to whose party I went to. It was not my business. It's not in my character.
I will come to whether it is your business, but just answer these simple questions. You did not recognize Ifa Juna there?
If he was there, maybe I didn't even see him. You recognize him. What for?
How many battalions did you have in the army then?
There were 5.
5. Who were the battalion commanders?
They had just been changed around.
At that night, 14th, did you see any commander?
Ojukwu was CEO of 5th Battalion in Kano.
Yes. Ejo was in Enugu.
Ejo was not in Enugu. He was in transit to go to Enugu.
Good. Who was in Enugu?
I think Faji. My Lord, you remember this more than 30 years ago. So
you are an old man. You see, if you are a small man,
let me recall. You must give me time to recall because
we have no time to wait.
Well, then you can forget it. The documents are there to say who was where. I was not military secretary. It was not my business to post army officers. It is a matter of general knowledge as at that time. And if I don't care to remember it, then you will give me time to remember it.
Did all the command, that is, the battalion commanders, were there at that party?
They couldn't be.
They couldn't be. Did you see Ejo at that party?
Who?
Ejo.
I didn't see him.
Good. You say by that time he had not moved to Enugu?
I know he had not moved to Enugu.
How do you know?
Because he had spoken to me as the Chief of Staff Army about where he was on that night of the coup. On social occasions.
When he spoke to you was after the coup?
Long time after.
Long time after the coup. Did you know where he was on the night of the 14th?
I know he was booked in Ikoyi Hotel.
So he was in Lagos. He was in Lagos.
You did a deduction as much as mine.
How do you know he was booked? Because you checked later.
I did not have to check.
How did you know he was booked?
Hearsay.
Oh.
If you want to accept, everything here is hearsay.
Okay.
He himself told me he was booked. He was booked and he changed his room. And that was his alibi for not being killed on that night.
You saw him at the party. I put it to you.
You may say so. I said I don't remember.
Good.
There were so many other people.
The next morning, he flew to Enugu. Do you know that?
He had told me that.
Fine. It was the plane that brought him to Enugu on the morning of the 15th that took Archbishop Macarius out of Enugu. Did he tell you that?
He might have.
He might have.
He might have.
Say it aloud. He might have.
He might have.
Thank you. Did he tell you why he had to arrive in Enugu on the morning of the 15th?
He told me he insisted he wanted to go and see the state of his battalion.
Good. When was this posting, which he delayed until after the party of the 14th, that he will come to Enugu on the morning of the 15th to make sure that he stays with his battalion on that morning of the 15th? When was the posting?
You would know that better than I.
I know, but you had given evidence.
Not,
You know.
I did not give evidence on the posting of military
Let me
officers.
put it to you. You know about what happened on the night of the 14th.
I know.
Yes.
I came to know.
Good.
If you are talking about what happened that amounted to a coup, I came to know.
Good. Did you know there was going to be a coup?
How would I?
You had no inkling.
Not at all.